Hi, today we're going to sew up this squared pouch, and I've got my two paper pieces, exterior pieces. I've got my zip, and I've cut out two zip tabs. This is optional in the pattern, and I've also got two lining pieces. I've just used some calico or like natural cotton. I'm just preparing my zip with a press. Uh, I say I'm pretty sure I tell you how to prepare a zip in the pattern. I usually do. I've just pressed it very lightly so that it doesn't melt. And now I'm just going to prepare the zipper tabs. So we fold them in half, wrong sides together, and then open that out and press the short sides into the center. And this creates a zipper tab. Yeah, I'll just speed that up for you so you can see how I do that. I just press it all and fold and then press again. And you see here, I'm just going to prepare the zipper tabs. They just go over the end of the zip, and then I'll clip. So that's the closed side of the zip. And now you see this side of the zip is open. So I just stitch over it back and forth. I have a straight stitch machine, so you can do a zigzag over it if you have a normal sewing machine. Mine's a semi-industrial, so and then you just place the tab over. I just do this because it makes sewing so much easier. And I clip it and I just stitch as I'm showing you, just an eighth of an inch from the fold line. And now the zip will be all secured with those zipper tabs. It just looks nicer and gives a square look to the pouch. Again, this is optional and I go through that in the pattern. Now I'm just cutting the ends off these zipper tabs. I always make my zipper tabs a little bit longer and then trim them to size so they're more accurate, and that way you're not losing some fabric on the end of your zips. So there you go, and that's what it should look like. Now let's put our squared pouch together. You want to lay your zip right sides together with the exterior piece. So I have put the zip in between the exterior piece and the lining piece, and the zipper pull is right side down onto the exterior piece. That way the zipper pull will be on the outside of your pouch. And you just want to clip this these two pieces together along the top with the zip in between. I actually got this not very well on camera, but hopefully you can tell what I'm doing. Here I'm just speeding things up. I'm clipping the two pieces together, and then I'm just going to double check that the zipper pull is face down on the exterior piece, so that for me that's the paper pieced side with lots of different colour fabric on it. So always do this because you don't want to unpick. I'm also going to change my zipper foot to the thin foot or the skinny foot, or it's 1/8, I think. I don't know. It just works better for me than a zipper foot. You might prefer a zipper foot or have a zipper foot and not have a thin foot. But I love this and I use it more than my 1/4 inch foot. It's a must have, I think, in any sewing room. So I just use that to stitch a 1/4 inch down at the top of my pouch, moving the zipper foot as I go because that's really important. And I also try to sew from the zipper head or zipper pull down. So and that way you'll see as well I do it the other way, and this way the zip doesn't get wavy. As if you're sewing from opposite ways, your zip will become wavy. It's also why we press the zip before installing it. So normally at this stage you would stitch a top stitch so that the lining stays down. On this one I didn't really want to change the exterior of my pouch because it is paper pieced and I just want it to be quilted nicely. So I'm doing an understitch. So that's where you stitch through the lining and the zip as I'm showing you. And so the lining will stay down in the pouch once it's all sewn together. And that's just something I've decided to do. It is optional. I haven't included it in this pattern. Now that we're finished with that side of the pouch, you just want to take your other exterior piece and lining piece and attach them the same way, making sure that the zipper pull is right side down with the right side of the exterior piece. So you are clipping, and I'll just speed this up for you because you also just want to make sure that your pieces are lined up with each other as well. So here I'm just going to clip it all and sew it all together, and I check just like I did the first time. It's really important to do that. I cannot stress that enough. I always check. And you see how I'm sewing starting at the zipper pull as well, and I move it as I sew. And now it's all done. The hard part is done. The zipper pull I think is the hardest. The zip is the hardest of pouch sewing, and I'm just understitching again this lining so that it stays in my pouch and looks good. So now we've got the exterior and the lining attached to the zip. We're just going to make sure that the zip is open. This is really important to help us turn it right side out. If you leave it closed, it's going to be a lot harder. So we place the exterior pieces together, and we're just going to make sure that the zip is pointed to the lining piece. This ensures that when you open the pouch out, the zip will sit better. It's not super important because we have zipper tabs, so it will sit well anyway. But if you don't have zipper tabs, this is extra important. Make sure that the zipper teeth are pointed towards the lining. So we're going to line up all the edges, exterior together, lining pieces, right sides together, and we're just going to clip around. We're going to leave a hole in the lining so that we can pull it back right side out. That's really important. If you accidentally don't leave a hole in the bottom of the lining, you can unpick it, but you want to leave that hole now so it saves you some time. And here you can see I'm sewing a 1/4 inch from the seam just down the bottom of the exterior pieces, and I'll just show you how I sew the lining so that it's got a hole in the middle. So I'm still using my skinny foot as well. I just prefer to sew with it, but it's up to you. So don't forget to backstitch. And here you can see I just left a little turning hole, and you're just sewing each long straight edge really of the pouch. And so you're sewing the bottom of the lining, the bottom of the exterior, and each long side of the exterior and lining that we've placed like together. There you go. Now I'll just speed it up, showing you how I just sewed it all up, and then we'll be on to the corners. And there's the turning hole. It's really important to leave that. So to do the corners, you just want to open them out and nest those seams, the bottom seam and the side seam. And I use clips, but you could use pins to just put these together. And you want to nest those seams as much as possible to make it accurate when you're sewing, to make it look good, especially on the exterior. It will look good anyway because most people don't look at stitching when they look at pouches, so you won't really have to worry, but you want it to line up as much as possible. And you can just see here take your time nesting those little seams together, and take your time with this, and stitch a 1/4 inch from that seam, and once they're all put together you'll see that. I've just sped up this little bit of me creating the corners of the pouch. It's very easy, and you definitely shouldn't be afraid. If they're not perfectly even, like a perfect 1/4 inch, that doesn't really matter. Just try your best and it should all work out. Mine are never perfect, but my pouches still stand up and they still work and look great. Once you've got these corners all sewn up, it will be ready to trim your threads and turn the pouch right side out. This is one of my favourite bits, as long as I've left the zip open. You can move that zip across by reaching into that turning hole and pushing out your pouch. This is super fun to see how your pouch looks. And while you're pushing it out, you just want to make sure that you're also positioning the zipper tabs so they're pushed out. You've trimmed your little threads and you're ready to close up that turning hole. You want to place them together, and you could press at this point, but I'm just going to stitch it. And you want to just do an edge stitch, so right along that hole. And this doesn't have to be perfect either. Nobody looks inside a bag or pouch. So you're putting the lining into the pouch. You just want to make sure it sits nicely in the corners, and that the zipper tabs are out and everything's sitting nicely. And it's at this stage you might want to give it a press and try the zipper out, and there, your pouch is pretty much done. And yeah, just trim any threads that might have come through while sewing, and press it. And so you can see I've made this paper piece version. You can make a plain version, you can make one with zipper tabs or not. Both versions and 3 sizes are included in the pattern, and you can find this pattern on my website loreleijane.com or on my Etsy store, and all the links will be in the comments or below. And I hope you really try this pattern because it's so much fun to make.